Are you tired of playing online head-to-head in NCAA and have no idea what you're doing on defense? Are you picking the wrong plays and getting torched over top? Are you looking at these formations like 3-3-5 and 4-3s and you're confused exactly what they mean? Keep watching this video. I'm going to break it down for you. Let's get it. Alrighty, with our first formation breakdown, we're going to talk about the 4-3 defense. This is arguably my favorite if it comes to base form between 4-3 and 3-4. But with the 4-3, you're going to have 4 defensive linemen down below with their hands on the ground. I'll circle them for you. Then you're going to have 3 linebackers. You're going to have your outside linebackers, and you're going to have your Mike linebacker, also known as your middle linebacker. That leaves with 4 secondary players left. You're going to have 2 corners and 2 safeties. You got your free safety and your strong safety and corner on each side. Alrighty, this is the 3-4 defense. This one's kind of similar, except for it's a little bit different. You're going to have 3 defensive linemen. You're going to have 4 linebackers this time. So you're going to have 2 kind of middle linebackers, and you're going to have your 2 outside linebackers. You're going to have your corner on the left, your free safety in the top left, strong safety in the top right, and your right side corner on the right. This scheme is better for those teams who have really big defensive linemen. You really want, this is going to be, you got athletic linebackers, you got them big, strong defensive linemen. This is when you want to run a 3-4. This formation is called the nickel. It still kind of looks like a base formation, but this time we're going to have 4 defensive linemen. You got your left end, your D tackle, another D tackle, and your right defensive end. You're going to have 2 linebackers right in the middle of the field, and you're going to have now, instead of 4 DBs, you're going to have 5 DBs. You're going to have your slot corner on the left. You're going to have your far side corner on the other left. You're going to have a safety, another safety, and you're going to have 1 more corner. This is for those passing type of offensive formations. When you see them start having 3 wide receivers, 4 wide receivers, this is when you want to start jumping up to the nickel packages. And then what we're going to get into next is the dime package. Now, this is the dime package. This is probably the highest I would go if I'm recommending any formations. I would not go to like quarters or anything like that. I would stick with dime as my highest tier. This is going to be all-out passing formation whatsoever. If you see 4 wide receivers and up, this is the formation I recommend you running. Why is that? Because we have 4 defensive linemen down below. Left end, D tackle, and your right end. You're down to 1 middle linebacker. Okay? We've replaced our linebackers with more DBs. So now we're going to have 2 slot DBs, 2 out wide DBs, and then we're going to still have our 2 safeties over top. The reason why I say this is for passing downs is really DBs are not known for being able to tackle. Besides really your strong safety, DBs are just not tacklers. So we're taking our tacklers and our linebackers off the field and adding more people into coverage to try to stop these receivers, these tight ends, in all these passing situations. That's why we run dime, and that's why we slowly increase from 4-3 to nickel to dime to counteract what's on the field for the offense. We are now going to start off with breaking down the different coverage zones. Obviously, we know a man-to-man is just literally man versus man, one-on-one. The first one we're going to talk about is going to be the hard flat. This is going to be your little blue ones over here in the corner. These are going to be stopping right at the line of scrimmage. These are going to be your quick outs, your little screen plays. That's what these little blue ones are about. When it says hard flats, just know they are going to be crashing that line hard. Okay? Now, if you were to put this over top, you're going to get hit with a cloud flat. A cloud flat still manages the bottom of the field, but this time the depth is going to be a little bit deeper. Okay, this is going to be better for your little bit of a deep out to a corner. This is when I would go with this one. If people are hitting you with out routes that are 10 yards, boom, or even 8 yards out, this is when I would switch to a cloud flat. If you're getting hit with underneath screen plays or these little zig routes where they come into the left and then go out right, this is when I would switch to the hard flat. We are now going to transition more towards the inside of the field, and we're going to talk about our hook zones. First one we're going to talk about is a hook curl. A hook curl is designed to be focused for more of those intermediate throws. So your slants, your short ends, anything that's coming across the middle at a shallow level is going to be for your hook curl. Whenever they're trying to hit you a little bit deeper, still in the middle, what you're going to switch to is going to be a middle it's a middle read. Okay. The middle read still covers the middle of the field, but it's a little bit deeper. It's not as close to the line. So if you're getting hit with verticals across the middle, I would switch to a middle read. All right, this time we're going to talk about our deeper zone coverages. Starting off with the curl flat, this is going to be your purple zones. So with these, you're going to be pretty much manning this part of the field. Anything on this outside is going to be in your territory. This is going to be more for your corner routes. People are going to try to hit you over here, or even your deeper outs. Okay, then that's going to transition us over to our deep half zone. Deep half zone is going to split the field in half. And you're going to be responsible for this whole left deep zone. Okay, this is also in the cover twos a lot, which we'll talk about later on. Then we're going to transition over to our inside quarters. This is going to be the insides of the field. So this is when we're running a cover 4 and there's 4 deep zones. But this is what you're responsible for, this middle deep. Transitioning again, we're going to talk about the outside third. Outside third is kind of like the curl flat that we talked about, but this just gives you a little bit deeper. This is going to be as deep as it lets you get. So this is going to be stopping your outside corners, your back of the pylon type of routes. That's what this zone is for. For our first coverages, we're going to talk about the cover 1 coverage. This is typically going to be one hook zone. It could either be a linebacker or it could be a safety. That means that guy is responsible for the middle of the field. Then you're going to have one deep blue zone. He is the furthest back man. He is the over top help practically for everybody. We're going to switch to cover 2. Cover 2 is going to have 2 hard flats or cloud flats, which we talked about that, being your light blues. Those are going to be your outside shallow routes. You're going to have 1 middle read, which is that deep yellow that we talked about. And you're going to have 2 hook yellows, which is going to be your little slant coverage routes and everything else like that. And you're going to have you're going to have 1 outside blue and the other one's going to be the other outside blue. So they're kind of splitting the field in half, which is very susceptible to routes right down the middle. So like those 4 vertical plays and they have the tight end that comes right through the middle. Cover 2 is going to suffer from that. Cover 2's biggest downside is also going to be you don't have any cloud flats. You don't have any of those purple ones. So anything that's going to be between that light blue and that dark blue zone is going to really struggle with cover 2. For cover 3, this is where we start leaving them shallow routes alone. You see, we don't have any light blue routes out here or coverages. This is designed for a deeper pass play. So typically I run cover 3 as my favorite. It's just what I personally enjoy. You get 2 middle reads for your linebackers, or depending if you're in dime, you're going to have 1 linebacker and 1 secondary. And then you're going to have 2 outside purple routes. That's going to stop a lot of these out routes, a lot of these corner routes. Then you have 3 deep zones. 3 deep zones. You have 2 for the outside corners, and you have 1 straight down the middle, which helps tremendously having that 1 in the middle. So now you're not susceptible, can't speak English, to what cover 2's problem was the middle of the field. This weakness for the cover 3 is going to be those shallow routes, which is why I typically play on the linebacker to kind of help with that a little bit. On to the cover 4, we have, again, no light blue routes. This is typically going to be for your deeper routes. So we're going to have 2 purple zones again, which is our deep outs, our corners. We're only going to have one hook zone for the linebacker. Then you're going to have 4 deep DBs. This is whenever you're getting beat over top, get as many DBs out there as possible, and you want them all back as far as possible. Because as you see, all the DBs, the 2 corners and the 2 safeties are the deepest routes. So you're not worried about a linebacker trying to run all the way down there and keep up with one of them. As for a cover 6 is a mixture of cover 3 and cover 2. So on one side, you're going to have a cover 2 defense, like we talked about with the flat zone. And on the opposite side of the field, you're going to have that cloud flat, which is going to be that deeper purple route for them out routes. All right, for this next segment, I decided to go into a game just versus the computer because I want to break some things down that I just can't really do in practice. So our first tip or first adjustment I'm going to tell you to do is always look at what the defense is coming out with. If you see they have 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends, that's letting me know I don't necessarily need to go to my dime packages. I'm going to start off with like in a 4-3 or a 3-4 because typically they have a lot bigger people. What I'm seeing is they have 3 wide receivers out there. So I know I need to match my DBs to receivers. That's personally what I like to do. Again, like I just really want to iterate and stress that matching personnel is going to go a long way, man. Too many times I'm seeing people who are coming out with 5 wide receivers and people coming out with a 4-3 defense. Like you're gonna get torched every time. You just do not have the athletes and you do not have the secondary personnel out there to be able to keep up with all these wide receivers out here. It's even sometimes if I know we're going against a school or a team that's got a really fast and athletic tight end, I may even throw an extra DB in there just to defend him. So again, match your personnel, man. Don't try to be a one trick pony. Play off what the offense is doing. If they're coming out in pass heavy formations, come out in the pass defense. If they're coming out in run formations and run heavy schemes with these 3 tight ends and 2 tight end sets, come out in your base 4-3s, 3-4s, 5-2s, which I didn't really talk too much about, and even your 3-3-5s. And with that being said, I just wanted to really come in here and break down the bare basics. I mean, I feel like everybody wants to jump to money plays and yada, yada, yada. But I wanted to come in here, explain the basics over formations, coverages, uh, reading personnel. And then in the next video, we're going to dive a little bit deeper, man. We're going to go ahead and start dipping them toes in the secret sauce. The next video is going to be about me playing online head-to-head. I'm going to bring you behind my eyes on what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And yeah, if y'all like this type of content, drop a like down below. Leave a comment to let your boy know that you want some more of this. And with that being said, your boy TruSports will catch you in the next video, man. Peace.